Welcome back to Sir's Stories, where we dive deep into the heart of harrowing decisions and their haunting aftermaths. Today, we explore a chilling scenario of survival and moral quandaries on a treacherous road less traveled. Imagine being Tommy, thrust into a nightmare that blurs the line between right and wrong. Tommy's knuckles were white on the steering wheel as the car tore through the narrow, winding path. Trees leaned in like silent judges, cloaked in shadows. The roar of the engine drowned out the crackling of twigs under the tires, but it couldn't silence the sound of gunshots exploding behind him. A dark SUV was chasing him through the forest, a powerful vehicle, its headlights cutting through the thick trees, staying close, relentless. The tires screamed against the gravel road, and the thump of each shot rang in Tommy's ears. He could barely focus on the road, his mind racing with a single thought: survival. Tommy had no idea how it had escalated. One minute, he and his two children, Ava and Eli, were driving back from a weekend getaway. The next, a car had appeared in their rearview mirror, tailing them, pushing them toward a dead end. It all started with a traffic dispute that had spiraled into a confrontation. Tommy had tried to lose the driver, to outmaneuver him, but now his tires had burst from a spike strip. His only choice was to keep running. Go, go. Tommy had screamed at his children, shoving them into the woods on opposite sides of the road. Run, find help. Now, Tommy was speeding away, the thick woods on either side of him offering no escape. The SUV stayed right on his tail, closing the distance with each turn. It was a deadly game of cat and mouse. The driver behind him was no longer just trying to intimidate. He was determined to make sure Tommy paid for whatever had happened. And then, ahead, Tommy saw him. A man crossing the road. The figure moved slowly, with no urgency, oblivious to the nightmare unfolding just behind him. He wore large headphones, the kind that completely shut out the outside world, blocking out the sounds of the car's roaring engine and the blaring horn that Tommy had desperately pressed. The man's steps were steady, calm, as though he had no idea the danger barreling toward him. Tommy's foot hovered over the brake. He could stop. He should stop. But the SUV was still right there, too close, relentless. Tommy's mind raced. Stopping would mean certain death. He couldn't afford it. He leaned on the horn, his hands shaking as the blast echoed into the thick night air. The man didn't flinch, didn't speed up. The headphones blocked out everything. His only world was the music, the rhythm, the sound he'd chosen to hear. The man was now closer. His face remained hidden in shadow, his attention completely consumed by the music in his ears. Tommy couldn't go around him. The trees on either side of the road left no room to maneuver. The man was too close to the edge. He would have to stop or risk running over him. Every fraction of a second felt like an eternity. The SUV behind him was closing in fast. Tommy's pulse hammered in his temples. He could see the reflection of the headlights in his side mirror. The driver wasn't backing off. Without thinking, Tommy slammed his foot back on the gas pedal. He didn't stop. The man was gone in an instant, swallowed by the force of the car. Tommy didn't even look in the rearview. He couldn't afford to. His heart raced, and the screech of tires became a hollow echo in his ears. Hours passed, the trees long behind him. But Tommy felt no relief. The silence inside the car was unbearable. He had outrun the SUV. He had outrun death. But the weight of the decision pressed on him. Now, think about this. If you were in Tommy's shoes, between the hammer and the anvil, what decision would you make? Would you sacrifice your principles for safety, or stand by them, come what may? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.